This is Sexy Steve DeMarco. I don't always listen to podcasts, but when I do, I listen to Houston Wrestling Radio.
This is Kelly Kevin from Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, and you're listening to Houston Wrestling Radio.
Hey there, this is Tex Lone Star from Doomsday Wrestling.
And this is Dirty Sanchez.
And you are listening to Houston Wrestling Radio with Travis and Abel.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 33rd edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. I am so glad that you're here with us. We have another great show to give to you today. We're going to be reviewing the pay-per-view from this past weekend, Extreme Rules, as well as the crazy episode of Raw that we had, yesterday.
This is our Extreme podcast.
Okay, thanks, Travis. That'll work.
No, it won't.
No. Alright, so we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Also, if we have time, I finished reading the Booker T autobiography, so we might be having a Booker's book review.
No, it won't.
No? Oh, okay. Are you saying you don't think we will have time? Is that what you're saying?
No, we'll probably forget about it by the end of the show.
Okay. And then, of course, we had...
But it's cute that you tried.
We also have some stuff coming up to talk about for Impact, and, why don't we go ahead and just start with that, get some of that out of the way.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, let's start off with this. We had Joseph Park in the match. Joseph Park is back. Damn it. I thought with Abyss coming back, that meant, yay, we don't have to see Joseph Park anymore. But I was wrong.
Because this is TNA.
Right.
So they're going to drag it out. Maybe. And go maybe back and forth. Maybe they're actually going to reveal that he is the same person.
Well, that could be the case. And if that is the case, I'd be down for that.
As long as it goes somewhere.
Yeah. But there was a little something there in the course of that match with him and D'Lo, where it seemed as though maybe they are gonna go with that.
That's why I said it.
Okay, you don't have to be an ass about it.
That's what I do.
All right. So anyway, I don't know. They've been teasing this with Joseph Park for quite a while, where if he sees his own blood or if he gets mad enough, he'll start abyssing.
Have they?
Basically. Yeah. I remember he did that when he was doing the...
I remember that one pay-per-view a long time ago. He did that once.
Yeah, he did it at the pay-per-view, and then he also did it in the vignettes where he was training at OVW, and he, was struggling on, learning the ropes or whatever, and then all of a sudden...
But it was only for, 2 weeks?
Yeah. It was in one of those vignettes. So it was in one of those vignettes. It was another pay-per-view.
Maybe if I wasn't fast-forwarding, maybe I would have seen that.
Yeah, they did it a couple of times, and then they did it again this past week. And now with Abyss back, I think maybe they're going to go with it somewhere more so now, but I don't know. But I figured something that is at least a point of discussion, so to speak. I mean, if they are going this direction, I think it's good. I think it'll add more to Abyss if Abyss not only being demented and twisted and always using thumbtacks and all that kind of not natural, but hardcore, yeah. Right. All those other hardcore elements that other hardcore wrestlers have done. On top of all that, he's also schizo, where he sometimes thinks he's a lawyer, and he thinks he's his own
naturally
brother.
A lawyer. Yes.
Yeah, where he thinks he's his own brother. Also,
yeah.
Come on. So I think that'll add some depth. But if they're really just going to go with, okay, Joseph Park's one guy and Abyss is another guy, then that's stupid. But,
right.
Like you said, you brought it up. They teased it again in this match.
I guess I say it like that. Give me a dirty look when you say that. Put a little stank in that voice, too.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well... So this is the, instead of the 3 faces of Foley, we got the 2 faces of Parks. I don't know. Well, there's gonna be, I think they're going to introduce another persona.
A third persona?
I don't know what it is, but I just think they are. Just because of the whole, law firm, Park and Park.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3.
Yeah.
So there's another brother somewhere. Or maybe it's daddy. Maybe it's the daddy Park.
Daddy Park?
Yeah.
Maybe James Mitchell will come back.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Nah. Is he still around?
I don't know.
Is he alive?
I would assume he's alive.
Hmm.
I haven't heard anything about him being dead.
Well, then he's alive then.
Should be.
Yeah.
But you know, it happens when you assume. Anyway, is there anything else you want to say there about...
No.
No?
Move on. What's next?
Okay, next.
We got other stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. James Storm. He is...
An asshole.
Well, no.
Oh.
That's the wrong wrestler.
Oh. Yes.
No, James Storm's injured.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's hurt, so he's going to be out.
Threw his back out drinking beer? Fishing?
It's his abs or something got messed up. I don't know. But
Sorry about his damn luck.
Jeez. Way to go, Travis.
It had to be said.
I guess so. Yeah, he's gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks, so I guess that means that he's not gonna be in that pay-per-view match where people were, where he said that he was gonna have, a secret tag team partner, and people were speculating like crazy as to who it was, and the biggest speculation that was out there was gonna be, Chris Harris reunite.
You mean the former Braden Walker?
Okay.
He's a WWE alumni.
Yeah, there you go. So, reunite.
He's on the WWE
America's...
alumni page on the WWE.com. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, well, either way, it's not going to happen now, because of this injury.
TNA could not be happier that he got injured. Now they don't have to worry about finding a tag team partner for him.
You don't think it was, homeboy Braden Walker then?
Yeah, sure. No, they don't know.
Okay.
Well, maybe they did. I don't know. But if it wasn't Chris Harris, I mean, it would have been some random person, and it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, so many people were running around. Oh, it's gonna be Chris Harris. It's gonna be Chris Harris. And I said, I tweeted this. I'm like, no, it's not. It's gonna be someone lame like EY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or unless they did some kind of weird thing where they had Rude turn on Aries and do something with that. But
I saw a conspiracy theory about that where it's like James Storm will be out there by himself, and then it looks like Rude and Aries are about to win, and Rude turns his back on Aries and pins him and reveals that he was James Storm's partner the whole time. But I just thought that was silly.
But you know what? I'd be more interested to see AMW reunion more than a beer money reunion.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, where's Braden Walker been at?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still in shape? Does he still wrestle? Is he on the indie scene?
I have no idea, dude.
Is he on the side with the little tin cup asking for money? Where is
in
this
the
guy?
subway selling merchandise?
Braden Walker merchandise.
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what's up with the guy and what he's doing right now.
I don't know if I'd be worried about that. If it was Chris Harris, what kind of shape is he in? They haven't been wrestled together in how many years now?
Yeah.
Because even before he was still a TNA, they'd broken up before that, so it's been a long time since they actually teamed up together.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that chemistry would still be there, I think he'd probably have better chemistry with Bobby Roode, but
that's true.
For nostalgia's sake, I'd say it'd be cool to see AMW.
It'd be cool to see AMW again in their prime.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
it's not going to happen. We don't have a time machine, so
yeah. And I think James Storm's got nothing but better since AMW.
Yeah.
It would be like a step down for him, I think.
Yeah. Well, either way, this is all moot because it's not going to happen. The dude's
Stupid
injured.
Storm.
Yeah, Storm
Getting injured.
You say it like he did it on purpose.
But hey, if you need to kill some time while you're hurting and recuperating, we'll do interviews. Just come give us an email there. We'll
there you go.
Over the phone interview there.
All right. Let's move on here. Another thing.
With his bachelor company and ask for an interview.
I know. God. The X Division match from Impact. Mm-hmm. We had Sabin versus Kenny King versus Petey Williams. And this whole feud it seemed like it'd been built, or not feud. This whole match seemed like it'd been built around the feud of Kenny King versus Chris Sabin.
Right, but they can't do that.
Right. You know, it felt like Petey Williams was like a third wheel in there, you know? And the story was all about, you know, Chris Sabin coming back and challenging the champ. Right. That's what the storyline is. But there's a third guy in there, and, you know, what I said about these new rules for the X Division exactly happened.
It's showcased right there.
It was showcased that very night, where it's like, okay, you're going to want to try to build up a feud, and it's going to be the champ versus the challenger, and then the third wheel challenger. And that third wheel challenger will get pinned and revolved out. And the guy who's the challenger, in this case, Sabin, oh, hey, you never beat me, you always beat the other guy. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't think it lends itself to good storytelling, at least for a long term.
TNA, I enjoy your enthusiasm for trying to change up the rules here, but just let it go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I enjoy the three-way matches, the in-ring, the craziness of the X Division and all that. I enjoy the matches, but I don't think it'll make a cohesive storyline.
It won't do cohesive storylines, and people are going to get tired of three-way matches. You know, it takes away this, you know, the uniqueness of it, you know?
Right.
If you're going to do it like that, if you're going to have, like, built-in storylines with these three-way, you know, merry-go-round matches that they're having, make the three-way matches elimination style.
Ah, that would be a good way to spice it up.
That way they could have eliminated, you know, Petey Williams early, and then it would have been the one-on-one. Right. You know, between Sabin and Kitty King. But.
I agree with you on that, but at the same time, it's like, do you really want a third guy getting buried like that? And especially in case in point, Petey Williams. Dude, Petey Williams is a effing badass. I love Petey Williams, and he's a great wrestler, but he's just kind of getting pushed to the side for the sake of the one-on-one feud. And even if it was elimination and did it the way that you said, where it's like, okay, well, we'll just, you know, eliminate this guy early. Well, this guy that you're eliminating early is someone who should be prominently showcased in your, you know, division.
But you can't because it's
exactly.
It's three match.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I just don't think that they're gonna to consistently have these three-way matches. It's not gonna work.
I can't see this lasting long.
No. It already has problems, and we predicted these problems right from the get-go.
And we're just a couple schmucks from Houston.
Yeah.
And,
we're not insiders. We don't know.
We're not professionals.
Yeah. We were able to predict that bullshit.
That bullshit.
That monkey humping bullshit. Yes.
We love you, TNA. So, okay, what's next?
Anyway, yes.
What's next? We got other things to talk about. What's going on?
Well, there was a stipulation added to Sting and Bully Ray's match.
Do we care?
Kind of. Not really.
Because it's not that big. Well, okay, so Sting can't fight for a title anymore.
Yeah, that's the stipulation. If Sting loses...
Is that big of a deal? Is that really big of a deal?
No, I mean, he shouldn't be.
Hogan
wrestling.
was like out there like on his knees begging Sting. Don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, Sting's a great wrestler. He's had his time in the sun. He shouldn't be wrestling for title matches.
Even the character of Sting, I don't think the character of Sting would even care about the titles that much.
Yeah.
You know? I know the wrestler himself.
Not now, anyway.
Yeah, I know the wrestler himself, Steve Warren, he wouldn't care. I mean, he's like, okay, I don't need the titles. So
I mean, like Sting needs a title to get over.
Right. Yeah.
Dude's been over since 1982. Like,
well, I didn't say that far, but 1982.
Well, he's been over for years. Okay, yeah. You get my point,
right?
But I don't know. Like, I don't care if Sting loses that, and I think that means that Sting's definitely going to lose. Because Bully losing the title, like, that's not worth it, you know, just to have Sting not lose his opportunity at a title. That's ridiculous. So, Bully definitely is going to win this, or definitely should win this anyway. Yeah. And Sting's just going to be like, oh, okay, well, I can't fight for a title anymore. So what? You shouldn't be fighting for titles. Not in this day and age. You should be... Yeah, exactly. You should be passing your torch, you know? Yeah.
I agree. It was a waste of a whole segment.
Yeah.
They just wanted to throw a stipulation on there just to kind of balance it out or whatever.
Well, they should have thrown a match stipulation, like something like no holds barred or a cage match or something. Like, not, well, if you lose, this happens. Like, something to change the actual parameters of the match is what they should have done.
Yeah.
Anyway, last little tidbit from Impact is that they're claiming that next week AJ is going to be patched in with the Aces and Eights.
Bullshit.
That's what I say. That just smells like a really bad swerve.
Yeah.
You know, they're setting us up to either have...
Like, who really thinks it's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. They're setting us up to either have one or two things. Either AJ is going to not join the Aces and Eights and still be, like, independent and undecided or whatever.
Under a TNA contract.
Right. Or, two, he's going to be part of, quote-unquote, Team TNA. There's no way he's going to be joining the Aces and Eights now.
Which, honestly, couldn't Hogan just say, hey, AJ, you're under contract. I want you to wrestle tonight. You're going to wrestle. Or you're fired.
Yeah, he could. I mean, hell, that's what he did when he had him fight, was it
James
Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, well...
I'm tired of this mess, you're going to wrestle.
Yeah, so why can't he just say, well, I'm tired of this mess, you're just going to wrestle Briscoe or Bischoff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't care if you're on our team, we're going to have you fight him anyway.
I'll make matches, how about that?
Yeah, why not? We don't need to have him having his loyalty. We're giving him a fat check.
Right?
Screw loyalty. You can go out there or else we'll take away your paper. You know?
Your paper? Oh,
your paper.
You just got a little ghetto on there. All right.
I did. I
want to hear Hogan say that.
Listen, brother, I'm going to take away your paper.
And the whole thing with this AJ getting patched in, wasn't it just Anderson in the back saying that we're going to patch him in next week?
Yeah, but it was after AJ got some action there.
Well, he got action.
It's not that kind of action. Like
I missed that part.
He hit somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the Pele.
On someone.
Yeah.
On a TNA guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember who, but
and I remember he did it and his like hood flipped perfectly on his head. I was like,
Yes.
oh, that's pretty cool. And he didn't try to fix it. He just walked out.
Just let it stay.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Cool hand look over here.
Yeah. So, on Thursday, don't expect AJ to actually join the Aces and Eights, especially because of the way it's happening. It's not that I'm anti-AJ being in the Aces and Eights. If it happens, great. But the way they're sending it up, the way they're making it look like, it just reeks of a bad swerve.
Anytime the heels say he's
gonna join us.
Yeah, some shenanigans.
Next week he's gonna join our club. Nah, no, he's not.
He ain't gonna do shit.
It ain't gonna happen.
It needs to be like this is another example from an NWO thing. I didn't mean it to be like this, but when Sting joined Wolfpack, he came down. Nobody said he was going to join it, but he just ripped off the shirt and bam, that's where he was.
Yeah,
that's it. That's kind of like what it needs to be if AJ joins.
Or like when Mike Tyson took off his
shirt. It needs to be
his
something like
DX.
Yeah. So basically, the point is he needs 2 shirts, and he doesn't need to sell anybody. So yeah, that's what I can see that happen. He's going to come out. He's going to have the little Aces 8 t-shirt on, and he's going to rip it off. It's going to be a TNA shirt.
Yeah.
I'm joking, but
it could happen. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, what's next?
All right. Well, that's all I got for TNA for the week. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, man. There's a pay-per-view this week.
All right. Let's get to it. Let's start talking about WWE. They had a pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, and well, let me ask you, Travis.
I think that they should use the ECW theme song on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
That wasn't my question, but okay, you continue. Why do you think that?
It's called Extreme. They should have and plus it's really cool music.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I want to say. Go ahead. I thought that's what you were going to ask me.
Well, I'm just flabbergasted now. Like, what? Okay, you want to use the ECW theme music for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view?
Hey, if you want to get extreme...
yeah.
But this is the PG era, so that music is too extreme for the PG era. Yes, I said it. I went there.
Okay, jeez, Travis, you are a goober. So let me ask you a question. I was going to ask you. Overall, what did you think of the pay-per-view?
I liked it. It was had a nice flow to it. It went smoothly. And there was I wouldn't say it was a great pay-per-view, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. I would say pretty much the same thing. It wasn't great, but it was better than what I expected. I really liked, for the most part, all of the matches except for maybe one or two. And one of those that I didn't like was Mark Henry versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
I wanted to like that match. I said that last week that was one of the matches I was anticipating the most, and it just fell flat.
They were really struggling on how to book that match.
Yeah.
Like, they did not have that mapped out at all.
No, it wasn't very good.
What was, like, that one thing where Sheamus had Mark Henry on that side, on the corner ring post, and he wrapped the strap around him? What was he going to do?
Yeah.
Where was he going with that? He's attached to the rope.
Exactly. Like,
or strap, whatever.
Yeah. That makes sense from a offensive standpoint.
Yeah,
like,
I'm beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I'm going to hurt him.
Yeah.
But it's Mark Henry on the other side of that thing. So after you kick his ass, you got to untie him and roll his ass into the ring and then drag him around. Dude, that's not good strategy.
And I think that's what JBL or somebody said. It's like, okay, you got him out there. Now what are you going to do?
Exactly. So I don't know. That wasn't booked in a believable way.
That
I
was
guess.
probably because he was a ginger.
Yeah, maybe. Stupid gingers.
Yeah, we get like that sometimes. We get wrapped up in our heads and we don't know what's going on sometimes. That's my excuse, anyways.
Okay, that explains a lot
for the show.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that match, and then on Raw, we saw that. Well, actually, it was shown on Raw, but it was actually from the night before on the post show.
I bet you if you had the app, you would have seen it.
Screw the app. I have the app, but I never use it. But anyway.
Now, Abel, you're losing mark points.
I don't care.
Yes, you do.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, get off your phone. We're doing a podcast right now, Abel.
I'm not on my phone. God.
Shh. Secret safe with me.
Okay, anyway. What I was getting at is Mark Henry saying, I'm going home.
No.
Yeah, that's horrible. I don't want Mark Henry to go home. Mark Henry was one of the few things that was very entertaining nowadays, and he's going home.
No.
That's not good. I hope that's like a temporary...
All this from a Irish ginger. He got his ass whooped so bad.
I'll get over it.
No, actually, I gotta give props to Sheamus for this.
Yeah.
It's not every day we can whoop someone's ass so bad. We can say, I gotta go.
I gotta go. You just want to take some sort of credit there.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yes, you do.
That's what I do.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I hope that this is just like I'm going home for a week and like that's it type thing, and not oh well, I kind of injured something, so write me off a storyline for 6 months, type thing.
Yeah, we've been watching wrestling for a while. I think he's gonna be out for a while.
Well, what happened? I haven't heard
anything. Well, nothing injury-wise, but, I mean, you just might want to be taking a break or something. I don't know.
But taking a break he hasn't been around that long. Like, he just came back from an injury, didn't he? Just like, 2-3 months ago?
Sure, he's tired, man. He's
tired from 2 or 3 months?
That's what he does. I don't know. I don't know. He could be back next week. I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope so, yeah.
I hope that's what that is, because, Mark Henry not being on TV is not good.
Yeah.
I think.
Nobody will get their wig split if he's not there.
Speaking of Mark Henry going away for a little while, there's somebody else that might be going away for a little while.
Who's that?
Zack Ryder.
Oh.
He took a ride in the ambulance.
In an ambulance?
Yep.
Well, so long. Thanks for coming. See you in TNA.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah. Well.
See what I did there?
Go home.
Okay.
It's funny whenever I saw Ryback carry the carcass of Zack Ryder. You gotta talk like the commentator sometime.
Yes.
Whenever he was he just tossed him into the ambulance. I was thinking of a little flashback of when DX totally just like chunked the whole Spirit Squad into a trunk and shipped their asses off to OVW.
OVW? Yeah.
I had a flashback of that for some reason. I don't know.
It's funny that you say that because I had the exact same flashback.
Yeah, that's
I know. But I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, does this mean Ryder's going away for a while?
He needs
he does.
Just get away from the internet. Get away from the woo-woo-woo. Just do something different.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you. You're not funny. Go home.
I mean, well, there's still some people out there that are trying to hold on.
No.
There is.
No, there's not. I'm disputing that, sir.
Well, dispute it all you want. Doesn't change the fact that there's still people out there that like him.
His family doesn't count.
Now, I think Ryder does need this time away, though, because I become
needs a repackage.
so uninterested in the guy. It took a while for me to come around to Ryder to start off with.
Yeah.
And, like, even then, when I was starting to finally come around to him, then he just went
He was already starting to go away.
Yeah, so, I mean, I understand. Like I said, there's still some people out there that are still like, oh man, this is a travesty. They shouldn't let, Ryder go away.
Who's saying that? Nobody's saying that.
No, there's
not.
there's people.
Show me. I want to see these people. I don't believe you. Okay, hypothetical question. Who else should have Ryback tossed in the ambulance with Ryder to be shipped off for a supposed repackage? Who else needs a repackage?
I hate to say this because, they were here at Booker T's ROW for a while, but, not ROW, PWA at the time. The Usos.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
I think they're doing okay. I don't think they need a repackage.
I think they do, man. They're just kind of stale. They're in limbo. They're not doing anything with them.
I'll have to agree to disagree. Oh, I'm not even agreeing. I'm just going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think they're doing okay. They're just a mid-card tag team. They're all right.
Okay, well, let me toss another one at you.
Okay.
Santino.
I was about to say that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That boy, he needs repackaged. Burn that fucking Cobra. I'm tired of seeing that little fucking sock puppet.
You didn't get tired with it with Foley?
It's Foley. No. How dare you compare the two?
Not all sock puppets are created equal?
No.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Whenever Santino introduced the sock puppet Cobra,
yeah.
At that point, well, before he got the puppet, he was doing the little Cobra Strike.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he introduced the actual puppet for it.
Right.
Since then, it's like he can't even do the move without the puppet.
Right.
I've seen him in a couple matches where he goes for it, but he can't physically do the move without the puppet. Like, he can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like the puppet, it's like the snake is its own entity or something.
Mm-hmm. Like little Jimmy.
Like I was saying, he needs repackaged, and it's just, I don't like it.
Okay.
Can you imagine, like, Santino gone for, like, a year or whatever, and, like, just coming back and just, like, as just a badass little...
Like, Skip Sheffield to Ryback type of change?
Not that extreme. But just like a serious, actual like mat wrestler, Greco-Roman or whatever,
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Just a mat wrestler,
Yeah, it could happen, and of course people will bitch about it because they'll be like, "Oh, there's WWE again," thinking that we have short memories. So, but at the same point, I'd like to see him be a serious wrestler at some point.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and, well, since we're talking about repackaged wrestlers, let's just go right into the talking point, I think, of this week's
the big thing from Raw.
Yeah,
Curtis Axel.
Can we call him Kurt Axel? I kind of like Kurt Axel better.
Well,
because one said the other. The Titantron said Kurt Axel. But they're calling him Curtis Axel.
Yeah, well, and that was at the beginning of the night. At the end of the night, when he came out to fight Triple H, it said Curtis.
Oh,
the Titantron said Curtis.
Oh, did they fix it mid-show?
They fixed it. They fixed it mid-show. Yeah, they did.
There's a part of that whole segment. It's bad, but let's focus on the good right now.
I'm going to just refer to him as Axel at this point.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then this is just me.
Yeah.
And I have a story about that, actually.
Let's keep it short. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. Every time that, when I was younger, whenever I tried to make a character in a video game for a wrestling video game or whatever, I always named him Axel.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I always did. And I've always liked that name.
Any reason, or you just like the name?
Yes. Because I'm Abel Morales the Third. All right.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yes. I'm trying to get to the point. I'm Abel Morales the Third. So if I ever wanted to have a kid,
Okay.
And it be a boy or whatever, I do not want to name him Abel, because then they would be Abel Morales the Fourth. And I think 4 is a little bit too much. So I always thought that if I were to have a kid, I would like for him to have a name that's similar to mine, but still also have the benefits of not being so common. Because Abel's not a common name. So I was like, well, I like Alex, but Alex is way too common. What's a happy medium between Abel and Alex? I put those two together and you get Axel. So Axel has always been the name of a wrestler or a creative wrestler or whatever on any video game that I played. And also, like, I had thought if whoever I wind up having a kid with would allow me to name my first son Axel, like that would be
that's a big
his
part,
name.
you know, because
Yeah.
that's I mean Axel, you got, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel,
Yeah.
you got Axel Rose.
Axel Rose, yeah, and now Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When he came out and there's a wrestler named Axel, it made me go, I was like, oh my god.
They finally read my emails.
Yeah.
They got my letters.
They hacked into my old PS2 and
Yeah.
saw the game saves. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to refer to him as Axel because of that.
Okay.
And now the listeners have learned a little something about me.
I'm sorry, folks. I didn't tell him to say all that. He just went off on his own on that.
I did.
Okay, don't ever do that again.
Okay. I'll try not to.
So, what'd you think of the whole repackage of him with Paul Heyman coming out and giving a grandiose entrance?
Well, I like Paul Heyman, and I like the fact that he's with Heyman.
Yeah.
I like the lighting, and I like his entrance music, except for some tweaking that I would do. I would make the opening part of it shorter and get to the remix of his daddy's entrance music quicker. I'd get to that part a little bit faster.
Yeah. You don't like the little slow build to it?
No. It's like you could cut out a good 3 to 5 seconds from the beginning of that to get to that part, because at first it's like, okay, this sounds kind of weird and generic. What the hell is this? And then, oh, it's a remake of Mr. Perfect's own music. Okay, that's badass. But it took a few seconds to get there, So I would tweak that. But overall, I think I'm on board with this. I think I like it so far.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you or the other, listeners and everything, but when I saw the name, Kurt Axel, I immediately put the pieces together and I was thinking Rocky Maivia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the same concept.
Yeah,
there.
it
You're
is
right.
the same concept, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking the father and the grandfather
And mixing it together, yeah. Rocky
So
Maivia. And then that got cut down to the rock, so you think this is going to get cut down to the axe?
No, I was talking about the axe.
Well, that's what his granddad was, the axe. So, okay,
Right.
So it can't be that. Maybe it's just the Kurt?
Just stop.
Okay.
I didn't mean that literal.
I know. I mean, Anyway, continue.
No, it's just, you can tell they have, well, before we get into the last segment, after the entrance, but you would think that, and as I was watching it, and he's being introduced, and he's coming out, and he's being talked up, and the music and the name and everything, I was like, okay, they're going somewhere with this. Mm-hmm. They got the repackage, they got the names right, they got the music, they got Paul Heyman being his manager. This is perfect. No pun intended. But, and then, they
Bring out the shovels.
They got interrupted by the game to totally bury this guy. So, Triple H came out and the second sentence out of this, stand back, Junior, the adults are talking here.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Like right from the get-go.
Don't even take him, already chopping his legs out from under him.
That right there already kind of ruined it.
That chopped his legs off right there.
Yeah. And it ruined it by virtue of Triple H.
Exactly.
Not by virtue of anything that Kurt did or anything that Heyman did or anything that the WWE production guys did. It was Triple H. Like that ruined it right then and there. And then right then and there, at that moment, I was like, oh my god, they just built this guy up.
For nothing. Yeah.
No. They just built this guy up to feed to Triple H.
You think so?
Yeah. That's the formula with Triple H. You get a guy, you build him up, you make him look like $1 million, and then you fatten him up just to feed him to the monster.
I see what you're saying. I just don't know if that's the case in this case. In this case. But, because Triple H a few years ago, I could see that.
Okay.
But these last couple years, Triple H behind the scenes, busting out with, Shield and bringing these other guys that are, D-Bride, kind of putting the focus on these younger guys.
But he hasn't interacted with them personally in a personal feud. Yeah,
that is true, yeah.
The feuds that he has been in, he's squashing the people and he's building them up, and then
the only feud he's been in the last 2 years is Brock Lesnar.
Well, that's true. And with Brock Lesnar, it's still a different animal.
Yeah.
Even though he's still been going over on some of the parts, except for, of course, Extreme Rules, which we can transition into that, that match there. But I don't think we're quite done talking about this here yet.
It was one thing that he just kind of, just pushed him to the side at the first. From there, he was an afterthought at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It slowly became, at that point, Triple H and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
He was just more focused. He could care less. Like, he wasn't threatened at all about Kurt.
Yeah.
It might have been just a jabroni, some no-name guy who was just there for a week.
Right. But then Axel got in his face, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. And for a second there, I had a little gleam of hope, like, oh, okay, they're going to take him serious. They're going to let him run with the ball and just get in Triple H's face. And then Triple H slapped him, and instead of just like turning his head and be all pissed off, like, oh my God, I can't believe you slapped me. No, he fell down to the floor like a little bitch. He got slapped right out his britches, and
out of his diaper?
Yeah, out of his diaper. And he was laying there on the ground, kind of looking up at Triple H like, I can't believe you hit me. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Yeah.
And then Triple H is like, I'm gonna kick your ass later tonight. Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
And then, we get to the later tonight part.
Yeah.
And the match, I feel like I didn't really get to see enough of what they had planned.
Absolutely.
And what's funny about this is, and I say it this way, despite the fact that we've seen Axel, quote unquote, in the ring plenty before. He was tag team champions, like 2-time tag team champions with Otunga as McGillicuddy. So we know the guy can wrestle. We know he could go. I was just wondering if, since his hiatus, it's been like a year or two that we haven't seen him.
More than that, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Since he's been gone.
Ever since Nexus. How long? That was at least 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. So I would like to have seen, what new does he bring to the table? And as a singles competitor. And since he's repackaged, does he have a repackaged moveset? What's his finisher going to be? Like, I wanted to see all these kind of things. But we didn't really see any of that in this match. Like,
because it all became about Triple H.
Yes.
That whole last
and it was short too. It wasn't very long. Yeah. Which the match before that with what was it? Orton and who did Orton fight? Swagger. Orton Swagger. Which I want to hate on that match. I really do. But the match was pretty decent. I want to say, oh God, this match was terrible, but it was actually pretty good. But
and that's hard for you to say with the Orton. So.
Exactly. But that match could have been shorter to give more time to the Triple H and Axel match, which
I think that last segment,
I would want to see.
No, I think that last segment was designed to be short.
Yeah.
Because of the whole storyline.
So, okay, that brings us to this. What was Triple H trying to sell?
I don't know.
What?
I just don't know. I don't know. He was fine. He got up at the end of this pay-per-view. He wasn't knocked the fuck out or anything.
Right.
He got hit in the head hit in the face with a sledgehammer apparently, but
Well, okay, let's go with the obvious. Go with the thing that everybody has been saying on the internet all day. He was trying to sell a concussion. Alright? If he's trying to sell a concussion, where the hell was he concussed from? Was it from Lesnar or was it from Axel? If it's from Axel, that's great because that really puts over Axel. But yeah, exactly. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's the case.
This has nothing to do with Axel. This has nothing to do with Kurt. He was just a guy in the ring with Triple H, and Triple H all of a sudden was getting. What'd you say? He forgot his insulin shot.
Yeah, I did say that. That's what it looked like. It looked like he was like, "Oh man,
He's getting lightheaded. He didn't have a sugar.
Yeah, he had.
Give him a Snickers bar or something.
Because you're just not you and you're hungry. Yeah, well, it looked like he was having like some sort of, diabetic attack or something. It's like, oh, okay, you're dizzy. All right, you're lightheaded. All right, you're doing strenuous activity, but you need to sit down. Okay, give him a shot of insulin, damn it.
And then the match didn't end, and he sat down. First of all, why did he get a timeout?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Damn Triple H, he gets everything.
He does. And here's another part. Why did Axel allow Triple H to have all that time just to sit and chill? If you were a dude trying to make a debut and you're being a competitor in the ring, ring psychology would state that if some guy that doesn't feel good and he's kind of all woozy outside of the ring and you're the heel, you'd be like, I'm taking advantage of this and I'm attacking you even though you're trying to take a breather and get your ass in the ring and beat you 1, 2, 3 and end the match.
Yeah.
But of course, oh no, this is the first time in all of fucking wrestling in the 100-year rich history of wrestling. This is the first time
we get a timeout.
Yeah, a heel was like, okay, I'll let you get a breather.
Need some water?
You want some water? Okay, I'll wait for you. I'll wait over here. What the hell? Why was he not at least getting mad at the ref for not starting a count out?
Yeah.
Like, if I was him, I'd be like, count him out. Like, at least do that.
Did you count his ass?
Or not even Axel. Heyman.
Yeah.
Heyman should have done something like that.
They showed a concerned look from Heyman.
Yeah, like, Heyman was like, oh man, this is serious.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Maybe I won't get my ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because they were going more of a worked shoot kind of thing.
Well, obviously that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but come on.
But I didn't. It just came out of nowhere. Granted, they at the little backstage thing, the trainer came in and said, "Hey, the doc says you may not be able to wrestle tonight." And then of course Triple H, being a dick that he is, does he like his job? This doctor, does he like his job? Well, you tell him if he likes his job, then I'm gonna gonna wrestle.
What a douchey move.
Is that going against the wellness policy?
Yes, it is.
Or some kind of
douchey move. And that's going against the Be a Star campaign, too. It's like, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're going to do your job the
How
way
many
I say.
violations is Triple H violated?
Yeah. And they're trying to beat PG.
Right.
Get the hell out of here with this crap. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Lesnar and Triple H before, before that gets completely overshadowed.
Like Kurt Axel?
Yeah, exactly. I thought the match was good.
Before I do that, I did want to say one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel that they could have saved Raw by doing one thing.
What's that?
That one segment with Triple H and Kurt, make that 2 separate segments. Had Paul Heyman come out, introduced Kurt Axel, and then brought out some jabroni or whatever, and had him do a showcase match to showcase his moves, his finisher, get him over as a wrestler. And then at some point later on the show, have Paul Heyman come out for something else, whatever, and then have Triple H come out to threaten him or whatever he was going to do.
And then out comes Axel.
Yeah.
And then
say, hey, that was my warm-up match. I want to fight you.
Or no. I think that would be too much for one Raw. But I see where you're going with this, but let me tweak it. Have all that happen on the next week, where on this week they introduce him. They let Axel have a showcase match. He wins the showcase match. Heyman gets back on the mic after the match saying, see, he's so great, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Cue Triple H. Triple H comes out. Yeah. They talk mess, and it's like, you know what, Punk? Next week, me and you. There we go.
But that's not Punk. No, just kidding.
I didn't mean Punk CM.
Right, I know, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, See, we're figuring this out,
Yeah.
First we booked TNA for 6 months, now we're booking WWE.
Yeah, well,
Someone needs to pay us.
Yep. All right, Triple H versus Lesnar.
I was confused.
Why were you confused?
Lesnar, hurting his knee.
Yeah.
Just from doing obviously he did a knee into the steel cage, but, I mean, it wasn't like the hard post to the steel cage, it was just like the cyclone fist part.
I don't mind.
Yeah, you think that was granted enough for the whole match for his knee?
Especially after Triple H started working on it, working over the knee. You know, what?
I'm just remembering, like, after he did the knee on the cage, the camera got into his face, and he's like, Paul Heyman's there, and he says, "I broke my knee." I broke my knee.
Yeah.
My knee broke.
My knee broke. Oh, my knee. Yeah. That was some silliness to it a little bit, but
maybe that's what got me out of it. I don't know.
Maybe, but I didn't mind it, and I was surprised by it because this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. Brock Lesnar has not been known to be a master seller. You know, the fact that they tried to go with the story of a match of Lesnar selling an injury throughout the match, I gotta commend him a little bit for that. I gotta say, hey, good job on trying to get that out of Lesnar. You know, it may not have been the best sell job ever, and I'm not advocating that and saying that it is, but just the fact that they tried to go for that, I think that's a little bit more aggressive booking for Lesnar than they've had in the past. You know, in the past Lesnar's been this unstoppable juggernaut, and he doesn't sell anything, and he's just Lesnar smash, and like that's it. You know, but in this match, it was like, oh, he's trying to actually be a wrestler.
Well, let's not go that far.
Well, I know, but they're taking the steps towards that, you know, and that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. One of the reasons I'm confused is I'm confused about the way they book him. You know, you just said, you know, it's about selling a story or whatever, but goddamn, this match, he got a hurt knee throughout the whole thing. The match before that, he got knocked out, which made his match suck.
Yeah, but that knockout was legit.
Yeah, again, I know, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, viewers watching WrestleMania, he was out. This match, bad knee. I can't remember what happened at SummerSlam, if anything happened during that match. But you know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't. Because the match, the criticisms of the match that he had at SummerSlam and the match that he had with Cena at last year's Extreme Rules, the criticism of Lesnar during both of those matches is that it was just Lesnar smash. And that's it. And he was no-selling and just going after it and just doing all this high-impact stuff and Kimura.
Well,
you know, at least in this match, there was some psychology. And you want to fault him for being knocked out at Mania. You can't plan that.
I'm not faulting him for being knocked out. I'm just saying, from a viewer's perspective, like when you're just watching a match, the overall, okay, his match at WrestleMania, what do you give it? 1 out of 5 stars.
3.5.
Really? Wow. Okay. I'd give it like a 2 tops.
Really?
Yeah, match sucked. He was knocked out. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? So that match sucked. This match, he was too busy selling an injury. I don't know. Maybe I'm more critical than you are.
Maybe you're right about that. That you are more critical.
And maybe
than I am.
And SummerSlam was just like Kimura Fest, like 2012.
Yes. Well, and see, that's the thing about this match. It wasn't a Kimura Fest, and it wasn't a Lesnar smash. It was like, oh man, Lesnar's vulnerable, and he could lose, and then he, you know, found a way to win with Heyman, and it looked like Triple H was really going to kick his ass. You know, I thought there was like actual psychology to the match. Now, let me say this before you get to your thing. If you were to take out Lesnar and Triple H and put in 2 other guys that people like and book the match the exact same way, you know, you probably wouldn't be saying the same thing that you're saying now, you know?
I don't know. It would, for me, just seeing the spot that injured his knee, quote unquote,
where he kneed the cage?
Yeah. To me, that just wasn't, they didn't warrant enough for him to be hurt that bad.
Okay.
It's Brock fucking Lesnar. They make him out to be the fucking beast mode. That's what they always say, you know. And he scrapes the cage, and you know that's it.
Okay,
he's a fucking cage fighter.
Well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this because we're gonna be deadlocked here for a while.
If it was just like if he needed the cage at the part of the beams,
yes,
that I could see.
Yeah,
but there's so much give whenever you need it. It like bowed out like.
Yeah, but you have to suspend disbelief because this is a cage match. Oh my god!
No, I don't. Speaking of cage, this is what I was going to say just a minute ago, but wasn't originally the cage match supposed to be to keep shit out?
Yes.
When did it be acceptable for just any manager just open the door and just go in and give weapons and shit?
Whenever Bobby Heenan did it back in like SummerSlam 92 or something.
You think so?
Yeah. It's happened before, so don't criticize that kind of shit now. And yeah, I might be wrong about whatever SummerSlam was.
Okay.
But yeah, it's happened before where Heenan's gotten in there or some other manager's gotten in there. Yes, it's intended to keep people out. The same way a Hell in a Cell is intended to keep everybody in, but what happens? Foley's outside jumping off of the damn cage. You got freaking people always exiting. That's the whole point. You know, it's supposed to keep them out or supposed to keep them in. And inevitably it happens where people get in and out. So don't get your panties in the water over the fact that Heyman made it in.
Oh, don't worry about me. You know, I just found it was too easy for Heyman to get involved. Usually in the past, if you want to bring the shit up,
okay,
it took a lot more shenanigans to. Normally he had to bring out, if you want to use the example of Heenan, he had to bring his whole family out to distract the refs, do this, do that, you know, get chain cutters, bust open the lock, you know, do this, you know, all this other different shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, oh, let me push the referee out of the way, open the door and get in there. Was there even a lock on the cage door?
You know what? I don't know.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
I think it might have been a latch, but I mean, there wasn't a lock, you know, like they normally do. Normally they focus in on the referee, like padlocking the fucking door. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Well, you can't padlock
a
cage match.
No, you're right.
Padlock would be a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Because a cage match, you gotta have.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Okay.
All right.
So anyway, let's move that past this. We spent so much time talking about this bullshit.
Yeah, we did. Jesus.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit. Okay. Let's talk about something that kind of you were right, so that should make you happy about the Shield. All three of them coming out with
I'm not happy.
title.
I'm not surprised.
I'm saying that you're happy because you were right about it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you were right, so you're not happy?
Oh, I'm wonderful, Abel. Thanks.
Ah, Jesus. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the Shield came out, all three of them with titles. I thought that was pretty cool. It was unexpected from me. You predicted it, so
right.
Congratulations. And then they, came out on Raw, and they had their little promo that they cut. That was a pretty good promo, I say. Yeah. Where does this leave the Shield? Where are they going with this?
Well, I want to say it's going to start having them be in two separate matches on a show other than one.
Okay.
We'll probably start seeing Ambrose in singles matches, and then the other two in tag matches, so we can have more of the Shield on one show.
Is that a good thing?
It can be. But they're so good at the 6-man tags.
They are. Speaking of, on Raw, 6-man tag.
Match of the week candidate right there.
Match of the week candidate, yes, sir.
I don't know what it is about Shield and 6-man tags, but God, they got that down to a science.
They do.
Man, I don't know what it is. Something about it. Something about the chemistry, something about the way they tag in and out. And I want to say it has something to do with the opponents, too. D-Bry helps out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
D-Bry was on fire in that freaking match.
Yeah. But it's not, D-Bry hasn't always been in all his matches either.
Right.
So it's not just D-Bry, but his matches, when he's an opponent, it definitely
helps
a lot.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I marked out for during that match was the fact that Rollins did the buckle bomb, which is something that we haven't seen since his ROH days, and we haven't seen it in WWE. Of course, it wasn't as impactful. He wasn't running from one side of the ring to the other to do the buckle bomb on D-Bry, but he still kind of snuck it in there and did it. And I was like, hey, buckle bomb, that's cool.
There's two things I want to see.
Okay.
Not like a big storyline thing or anything, but I want to see one-on-one match. First of all, I want to see D-Bry versus Rollins.
Yes.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
And I also want to see Kane versus Reigns.
It could happen if they're going to build.
Definitely. I think they're...
Yeah, if they're going to build for a rematch for the tag titles at Payback, then that could definitely happen.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think between now, or I think the build up to Payback, you're going to see that. I think you're going to see one-on-one matches.
Yeah. And
then the pay-per-view is going to be the rematch. I think Hell No is still going to lose, and that's when they're going to break up. Because they
already have tension.
They're already doing it. I think they're already building the building blocks for that. So.
Which,
it's time.
Yeah, it's time. Although, D-Bry just got those new tights with the flames on them to match Kane. Oh,
well,
what a waste.
No, he's had those.
No, but he specifically got some new ones that look more like Kane's flames.
Oh.
Yeah. You didn't notice?
No, I'm not a big flamer guy, so I'm gonna leave those.
How are you gonna turn that into a gay joke?
I'm just saying. You're into the flames, so I don't know.
Okay, well,
but he's had the flames on his tights before, so.
Yeah, but okay.
God, man, you're making such a big deal about the flames. Who cares about the tights? He's got plenty of tights. He doesn't need.
All right, fine.
WWE, man, it's the machine. They don't care. They'll
make some new tights. Yeah, I get it, but still,
they're making new ones right now.
Probably are. All right. Well, speaking of tights,
what?
Layla was getting a little slap happy there with AJ on Raw.
No, I've never been happier.
That was some HLA right there. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if Layla was trying to rib AJ.
I wish she would. No, but yeah, I think so. I think that had to have been. That could have been That could have been an accident. Yeah,
that especially after. Well, okay, let's back up here. What we're referencing is the fact that AJ got Layla in her new little what do they call it?
The
a Black Widow finisher submission hold.
And tarantula.
Right. No. And Layla tapped out by smacking her ass.
She slapped that ass.
And then after in the middle, mid slaps, like it was tap 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 tap, then squeeze. Gentle there was a gentle squeeze there. She gently squeezed her ass and then tap 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 again.
She gently caressed the backside.
Oh god.
And then squeezed. Oh man. So gently.
That was very creepy, Travis. But it made for what the hell kind of moment right there. Like, is that really happening?
Not for me, didn't.
Well, it still made me go like, what? Okay. But
it made me say okay.
Yes, I bet it did. So, that was just funny. And I wonder if this is going to happen more often with this finisher that AJ's doing, because I could see where, you could say that, oh, well, that's just where their hand ends up in that move, but.
No, her hand's like towards all the way back, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like she could have slapped her thigh.
Well, she did, because if you look back
when
at her
she first started, yes, but then when she cranked back a little bit more, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna smack your ass now. But I wonder if it's gonna lead to more situations like that where it's like, oops. Oopsies. It happened again. AJ's getting her ass slapped. Like.
Or maybe, Layla just wants to ride the crazy train.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going on there? But either way, it was entertaining.
AJ has that effect on people.
Yeah, whether it was intentional or not.
It made my day.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. It did make your day.
I'll explain it to you one of these days.
Okay. I think I understand. All right. Let's bounce back to the pay-per-view again one more time, because there's something I want to bring up from the pay-per-view. And that's the I Quit match between Swagger and Del Rio, which I thought was a pretty good match. And then the ending happened, and then I was like, what the what? First off, JBL on Raw had a point, and it was the same point I was making while the Extreme Rules pay-per-view was going on, which is I quit match. The competitors have to say I quit for the match to end, not a throw in the towel match or a regular match. Because if there's a regular match, if the referee were to throw in the towel, then the match would be over. But this was an I quit match. So that means no one else could quit for you. No one else could say I quit. The competitor has to say I quit. So even if it was Ricardo or Zeb or whomever it was that threw in the towel, that should not have ended the match. First off.
Okay, continue, sir.
Okay. Second off.
Oh no, here we go. Okay.
Second off, since when are we doing instant replays?
Starting now.
I guess so. Starting that match and only that match.
You know what? Other than the fact that they've never done it before, I liked it.
Okay.
It actually made the ref look like he had a brain.
Okay, that is, I can agree with that. Because after all, how many times, I think we've even said it on this show before, that like, how hard would it be for a ref to look up at the Titantron while a replay is going on to see the shenanigans that happen?
Yeah.
So we've said this before, but I have a feeling that this might be a weird one-off thing.
It is,
and
yeah.
Why are you going to make it weird one-off thing? You know, like why not show some competency in the refs and they would do it more often? And, you know, kind of going back to, remember when we were talking to Stash and we were saying, oh, well, what if there was a referee that was better than other referees and you knew that ref was the good ref? Because he would do shit like that where he would catch the heels when they're doing something or do something logical like look at the instant replay or something like that. But I don't know if they're going to go that direction. So for them to do that in a one-off thing, it kind of threw me for a loop there. It's like, what the hell is going on here? You know? I mean, combined with the fact of everything I said before in that first point, you know, it just made for just like a weird ending to that whole match.
Can I say something? After the first few minutes of that match, I was really getting annoyed by the ref. You want to quit? You want to get?
That's true.
God, I was like,
oh, you weren't the only one, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was saying after everything, you
want to quit?
You want to quit? You want to quit? Yeah, that was too much. But I think the match itself, aside from that part, and aside from all the ref shenanigans, that it was a pretty decent match. You know?
Yeah, I think the bigger story is the whole instant replay thing. I really don't want it to be a one-off thing, but I think it is for storyline's sake.
Yeah.
I think it's just a gimmick for the match.
It should happen again. I think so. You know, just to, I don't know. I mean, cause there's always just so much, even nowadays, there's so much, going on in the real sports world about instant replay and whether or not, baseball should have it and all whatnot. So, I mean, maybe that's why they did it, cause it's a hot topic in baseball right now.
Yeah. And the one little scene, a shot of the referee, like, going to the, monitor and looking at it.
It wasn't a monitor, it was a fucking iPad.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but still.
Yeah. I was getting a vision of, like in the NBA, when there's something that the ref's got to review. That other ref that came out, I was kind of hoping he was going to be there with them and he'd be like around the monitors, kind of looking at things, and making more of a bigger production out of it. Mm-hmm. That would have been hilarious if they stopped everything for like 10 minutes just to like have the ref like review everything. But,
yeah. And it'd be in like one of those funky little booths that like they have in the NFL where the ref just like sticks his hand in there and looks at it. Yeah, that'd be funny.
But, if it was something where if it was just going to be an ongoing thing, I'm all for it.
If it's an ongoing, more established and more regulated type thing.
Yeah. And
that on not an impromptu, well, let me break out my iPad and look at the WWE app.
Yeah. There's that along with going away from this for just a second, but, the post show. Mm-hmm. They had the little panel, Barrett, the chick, McFoley, Titus. That right there, making it feel like a legit sport type thing. Mm-hmm. That, along with the little instant replay thing, I think they're trying to go with more of a sports aspect.
A sports production type feel.
Yeah. The only thing I wish they did at the pay-per-view, or for any title match for that matter, where the champion defends, or the title's on the line, is interview the champ afterwards.
Yeah. Like they do on Main Event.
And that's not even really consistent either.
Yeah. Well, like they did on Main Event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, make that more, especially on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I think on pay-per-views, all title matches should have the big intros. They're standing in the corners. The following match is for the U.S. title or whatever,
So-and-so standing to my left is Jabroni number 1.
Right,
standing to my right, Jabroni.
That should be a consistent thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of consistency, I still say the champion comes out last.
Yeah.
There's just things that they could do if they would just keep it consistent. Mm-hmm. And, anything that makes it feel more like a sport.
Yeah.
Instead of just entertainment. Mm-hmm. Like when they call them wrestlers and not performers.
Yes.
Or entertainers.
Yeah, superstars.
Yeah, well, that's always been there, you know. So, but anyway, that's all I was going to say about that.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically think that there is room for an instant replay type of thing to happen.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think you're right, but maybe to an extent. Maybe if the ref has some sort of suspicion, because if you do it every time that there's an injustice that happens, and you make it where it's like a mandatory replay after every match, like, a heel's never gonna fucking win. You know? There goes the end of the cowardly heel, you know?
Well, you know, I've seen it to where, I can't place this specific example, but I know there's one thing where the ref didn't even see something happen and he DQ'd somebody, you know, where it's like, they're not even seeing anything at this point, you know, they're just...
You know what they could do? They could have more competent general managers, but have a general manager be the guy that would say, hey, we need to review this one.
Yeah, aren't they watching the shows?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe they'll miss a few here and there because, you know, they're GMs and they could let things slide just for the sake of it being more entertaining or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if there's something obscenely egregious, you know, where it's like, okay, this really shouldn't have happened, you know, then we're like, hey, refs, you need to look at the replay and reverse this decision.
Decision?
Easy for me to say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of like Michael Cole trying to say Ambrose in Orton.
Yeah, that was funny. But,
Ambrew.
Then again, I mean, that's going to be hard for the heels to win. It's just going to make it harder for a heel win.
Like we saw.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, moving aside from the sport aspects of it, let's get to the entertainment aspects of it. And one of the rather entertaining things that happened on Raw, Fandango just decided to stop in the middle of the match and cut some rug. Ringside. His music hit. Well, no, wait. His music didn't hit, right? Or did it?
No, he for whatever reason, he wanted to correct his name.
Right, he wanted to correct his name, and then he started boogie woogie.
Yeah, then they put his music.
Yeah, that's right. So the match was actually going on, and he's out there dancing around.
Pissing the F off of Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett got pissed off more than anybody else.
Which I don't blame him. I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah.
You know?
And Jericho and Miz were like, all right, well, let's just kick Barrett's ass. This is weird or whatever. And then...
I like how they're like kicking his ass and they're stopping to look at Fandango's like, hey, I'm kicking this guy's ass over here.
Yeah, I'm kicking your partner's ass. Are you going to do anything about it?
Didn't even acknowledge him at all.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was great.
But speaking of Barrett, you know, he came out with new music.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that music.
I was kind of on the fence, but you know,
I need to hear it more.
The final verdict is I like it just because there's no auto-tune.
Okay.
That's it.
But the whole...
It had a weird beat to it. It had a weird sound to it, you know.
Well, I mean, the opening of it kind of sounded like the little girls before the Undertaker made his American Badass debut. Remember the little girls in all those vignettes?
Well, yeah, because I just posted that like last week.
Yeah, that's what the beginning sounded like, those creepy little girls, and then there was the heartbeats there that kind of sounded like Taz's own music. And I'm like, what? Who the hell's coming out? You know, like American Badass Taz Barrett? What the hell? You know, it's just kind of strange.
You get confused easily.
Maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe I'll listen to it some more and it'll catch on. But I don't know. At this point, I think it's better than his last 3 entrance musics. This guy's changed entrance music so many times.
Yeah, he'll find one eventually.
Yeah.
So he got his ass whooped. Fandango. He was about to get attacked after the match.
Right, by Miz and Jericho, and he decides to take off.
Yeah. Did you see what happened after he jumped the rail?
No, I did not see until you pointed it out to me a couple of hours ago.
That fool Fandango knocked down a fan, just pushed him to F down.
He just bowled over a fan.
Yeah.
He ran that dude over like Big Show ran over AJ.
Yeah, shoved his ass down. I mean, and that guy just went flailing over. He flopped like a new NBA player.
Yes, he did.
You know?
He flopped like a
You want that money?
Yeah, he did.
The money. Yeah.
Do you think that was a plant?
Nah, if it was a plant, they would have made a bigger deal about it.
Yeah, so that was just some dude that just happened to be in the way, unfortunately. Some fat guy.
You don't get in Fandango's way.
Some fat guy who just got in Fandango's way and got knocked over. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Plain as day on the camera, so.
So, are there going to be any repercussions for this?
I doubt it.
It was more on accident than the incident with Punk, where Punk punched a dude, said it didn't seem like Punk got in that much
Fandango's
trouble.
hands were like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, he gave him a nice hard shove.
I'm running, move your fat
Yeah.
ass.
I don't know, man.
Fans, why don't you go back and watch the replay of Raw and just check it out when Fandango starts running away.
Yeah,
Let us know what you think.
If you got that stuff on DVR, go back to where Fandango's running away and just watch that happen. That was hilarious.
But I don't think anything's gonna happen. I don't know.
Probably not.
Because I don't think anybody noticed it. I told you and you didn't know, and nobody.
Yeah, I
mentioned
didn't notice it.
Nobody said anything on Twitter. So
Yeah.
if it didn't happen on Twitter, nobody knows about it.
Well, I mean, hey, if Jack Swagger can get away with DUI and weed possession, I'm sure this guy can get away with...
And if Titus can say the F-bomb on TV.
I know! Well, okay, so we had HLA with Layla and AJ.
Yeah.
And then we had Titus dropping an F-bomb.
And we have Fandango shoving fans out of the way.
Shoving fans out the way. I don't think this was a PG show.
Where's the PG? I didn't see it.
Yeah, hey, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's have more wrestlers shoving fans out the way. So anyway, Titus dropped an F-bomb.
Come to think of it, the entrance with Ryback,
Yeah.
when he came out with the ambulance,
The ambulance.
that was kind of like an Attitude Era type thing.
It was very Attitude Era-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they're going to have a ambulance match also.
Yeah.
It's kind of a throwback, so to speak. Let's talk about Cena and Ryback. First off, let's get to the actual match itself on the pay-per-view. That was another match that I was surprised. It was going a little bit better than what I thought. It was still last man standing, so there were still all these lengthy 8 to 9 counts. Oh my god. But I think Ryback and Cena did a fairly good job in between the near quote unquote.
Yeah, there's
near
only so
falls.
much you can do.
Yeah.
You have to do so much thing and then stop. Do something else. Stop. Do some,
Yeah. But those something else's were good. With the exception of one. There was one in there where Ryback was on a table, and Cena got up onto the railing, and tried to do like a jump onto him, and he just kind of belly flopped. He didn't really jump. He didn't get any traction. He just kind of, and just kind of fell. That was really ungraceful. That was like the least graceful extreme jump I have ever seen.
But this is John Cena. What does he do that's
Well,
graceful?
I know, but I'm just saying that looked ugly.
The one thing that got me was that little segment of the wall that Ryback picked up.
Yes.
That looked impressive, but I rolled my eyes when Michael Cole says, he ripped that wall right off the floor.
Like,
really cool.
that wall looks like it's a cheap plastic retaining wall that you're supposed to be able to take up and put down.
You can see the connectors, on the sides where it
They're
connects.
glorified fucking Legos.
Granted, when he threw it on the ground, it sounded heavy as fuck.
Well, yeah.
But, it was just a segment of a wall that, but he was just, the way Cole was saying it was just, he ripped the wall right up the floor. It's like, shut the fuck up, Cole.
So, let's fast forward to the end of the match, where why did I say Fandango? Excuse me.
Idea.
Where Ryback, picks up Cena and just rams him through what we thought was just going to be part of the stage, but apparently that part of the stage was so flimsy. It was just the lighting and like a bar and that's it. And they went flying through it. And, the
cool visual.
It was a cool visual. It was neat. And
if you didn't see it, you've had 25 different times to see it after that.
it's true. Cause there's so many damn replays. Here's where it stops being cool and it starts being, okay, now what? When the ref looked over and said, oh, you know what? I need to run around through the back. You're telling me you couldn't see where they landed from where you were standing and started counting? That could have happened or something, but I don't know. Then, of course, they were backstage and they had to bring out the stretchers and, putting Cena on a gurney and helping Ryback up.
I'm kind of disappointed in Ryback. Because on Raw, he could have said,
I won.
He won. He was last man standing.
Yeah,
he got up.
He did get up. I don't know what the count, quote unquote, would have been.
There was no count, but he got
there
up.
was no count, but yeah, he did get up. So
The referee never counted.
Yeah. The ref was like I said, it was a no contest. There was no, which that's bullshit because it's a last man standing match. I mean, yeah, sure, we might be concerned for John Cena's health and safety, but
he didn't get up.
Wait until after the 10 count to be concerned with this.
Not his fault. He got pushed to the wall. Yeah.
Indeed. One thing that I did think was kind of interesting, and I was kind of thinking about this later, is that they kind of used a kind of a cinematic effect, an effect that they kind of use in Hollywood, where you don't actually see the impact or what happened. So it kind of leaves it up to the imagination of everybody else to be like, oh, this is what happened. So I think that was kind of interesting that they were able to employ that, because so many people were like, oh man, that was such a big fall, and but we didn't really see anything other than going through those lights, which that was a good thing. But in the minds of the viewer, it was more so than what it probably was. And I have to, applaud somebody for putting in actual cinematic techniques, where you don't actually see the thing. I think that's isn't that like the original Hitchcock technique, where you don't ever see the actual monster and you don't ever see the actual axe getting put in the
wow, a Hitchcock reference, Abel. I'm very impressed.
I was impressed for seeing that on the pay-per-view. So there you go.
I'm just impressed with the fact that you know who Hitchcock is. I'm not even joking.
Okay, I don't know what to say to that. Thank you, fuck you, but I don't know what to tell you.
Anyway.
Can you stop making this personal and just talk about the point?
What's the point?
The point is that they did this thing, and
yes, very good, Abel. Yes.
Oh, Jesus. All right, whatever. So, anything else on Raw or the pay-per-view that we want to discuss?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay.
You got anything?
Not right now. After we're done recording, I'm sure I'll think of something.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
That happens every effing week. Oh man, we should have talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Let's go ahead and call it quits there for now, for this week, of course.
Okay, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I meant for the WWE talk.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I had read the autobiography for Booker T. I think just go ahead and talk about that for a little bit, if you don't mind.
I'll just be sitting this one out.
Oh, okay. Well, after all, you didn't read it, right? Oh.
I haven't got it from you yet.
Oh, it's not mine, it's Aaron's.
Oh.
Aaron let me borrow it.
Oh, well, regardless, I haven't read the damn thing yet.
Okay, well, there you go.
Talk!
Okay, talking. So, read Booker T's autobiography, and I must say that I'm quite shocked at all the stuff that Booker T had to go through, man. He had a really rough effing life, and this book, I know it's going to sound cliche to say this, because I'm sure a lot of, autobiographies could have this quality, but I would like to say that it's a little inspiring. He just went through so much turmoil, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys, because hopefully after you hear this review, you'd want to go out and read it, so I don't want to spoil it for you. But there was just so much stuff, so many hardships and obstacles, and some of those were put upon himself, and some of them were self-imposed. He did a lot of boneheaded things when he was a kid, and got himself into a whole lot of trouble. But at the same time, some of it was just where he came from, and the type of life that he was thrust into. So just kind of reading all of the crazy stories, and it just didn't end. It just kept coming and coming and coming. Like, I was expecting this book to be, first 2 or 3 chapters about him growing up, then another chapter about like when he went to jail that we all knew about when WrestleMania, was it 19?
18? No, 19.
Yeah, it was 19 when they made that into an angle. I figured that there would be a chapter about that. And then the last half of the book will be, oh, well, this is when I met, Paul Bosch, and this is when I met this wrestler, and this is when I started training, and da-da-da-da-da, and like all this wrestling stuff. I was expecting a lot of wrestling stuff, but it wasn't. It was like the first 3/4 of the book are stupid shit that he did, or bad situations that he was in, or the way he was trying to struggle to survive and eat or find a place to live, and all this tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And oh my God, it was like, this is nuts. You know, it was just blow after blow after blow of just crazy stuff that happened in this guy's life. And just seeing how much he came back from and pulled through, and how, you know, once he made that decision, it's like, you know what, I'm going to live my life the right way. And he did it, and then he just took off, you know, and he just became a wrestler. You know, it was just such an interesting story. And I know we sometimes have wrestlers, you know, on here and local indie guys, and we interview them and we talk about, you know, stuff that they go through and how they decide to become a wrestler and whatnot. Booker's story, man, it takes the cake. He came from like all kinds of crazy stuff, you know. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you know, if you like Booker and you're a fan of Booker, it's definitely something that you want to read. And even if you're not a fan of Booker, but you just want to read an interesting story, hell, even if you're not a wrestling fan, because it's not, like I said, this book's not that wrestling heavy. It's more about a life, it's more about the life of a guy in a really bad situation, in a really bad neighborhood, and him moving up and bringing his life out of that. You know, that's really what the book's really more about. And it's just a great story that he has. And it was just, you know, it was great and it was powerful and it was inspiring, you know, so to say that much, you know. Okay. I wish I maybe would be able to go into a little bit more detail, but like I said, I don't want to spoil it. But, if anybody else out there has read the book or will read the book, after you're done with it, you want to get back to me on it and just be like, oh man, this and this part was crazy or whatever. Hey, feel free to, you know, send us an email or send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And, you know, I'll be glad to talk to you about it then. But, you know, you really do need to go out there, run out somewhere and buy the book. I believe it's available online, of course, on Amazon. And, you know, check it out.
Okay, so you definitely give it a good 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. What did you think?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be about a 4.5 out of 5. Okay. You know,
so definite buy, right?
Definite buy. Very, very interesting story. Like if you liked the Mick Foley book, it's different in the sense that like Foley kind of had direction. He knew what he wanted to do, and you know he knew he was going to get into wrestling. And there's a big chunk of it about the wrestling part, but Booker's story is different. Booker's story is more about his personal struggle, and then wrestling came after he decided to change the personal struggle. And it's just more gritty than that, but it's still as interesting just to see somebody that you know, quote unquote. I mean, because we don't really know the guy, but we know him because he's a public figure and he's a wrestler, and we watched him for such a long time. You know, to see that guy in a different light. You know, this silly guy who pretends like he's a king and goes around picking up his pinky and saying, "All hail King Booker."
He ain't pretending.
Like, you know, you wouldn't think that all the stuff that dude's been through would be the same guy. It's really eye-opening, so to speak, you know.
Okay, cool. Well, there you have it, folks.
Ta-da! All right. So that was Booker T's book review.
Booker T's book review?
Yes.
I think we could condense that down a little bit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right. Okay. Trav, do you have anything for us to add on to the podcast before we start wrapping everything up?
I just want to kind of reiterate, this weekend, we do have Comicpalooza here in Houston.
Yes, sir, we do.
Scott Steiner, he will be here, just to let all wrestling fans know.
Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, I did confirm he will not have a Q&A, but he will be in a match.
What?
He will be wrestling NWA champ Jax Dane.
Really? So
and it's for the NWA title.
Oh, I didn't realize he was going to have a match. That's cool.
So Scott Steiner will be wrestling live
at Comicpalooza.
Yep.
Holy crap. Okay. Well, that's that was new news.
All the wrestling stuff at Comicpalooza is will be happening on the 3rd floor of Hall A.
Okay.
In George R. Brown Convention Center.
Mm-hmm. And all the wrestling stuff is going to be composed of NWA Houston and Doomsday Wrestling. And both of those organizations are going to be having one show each day.
Right, yeah.
So, go out to Comicpalooza and you'll get to see Doomsday and NWA.
And during these matches, you might see myself or Abel.
Yes, we're going to be out there.
Or both. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to be there Sunday. Yeah. I can't make it Friday or Saturday, but I'm going to be there Sunday.
I won't be able to make it Friday, but I'll be there Saturday.
Okay.
I'm going to be there Saturday, and I'll be there Sunday.
Are you going to be there Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See, there's some other guests that are going to be there that they're not going to be there on Sunday, but I want to see them on before they leave, so they're going to be there Saturday, so I'm going to stop by on Saturday, too.
Okay. The non-wrestling guests, you mean.
Right.
Right.
Any comic book fans out there? Chris Claremont. He's going to be there. George Perez, he's going to be there. So just to name a few, or a couple artists, writers that are going to be there. Legends in the business. Mm-hmm. Don't nod your head like you know who these people are.
I don't know who these people are.
But I appreciate your enthusiasm.
I'm trying to play along here. You blew my cover.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It is Comicpalooza, so obviously there will be comic guests there. So.
Yes.
But of course, besides the wrestling thing and the comic things, there's going to be some actors there too. Mm-hmm. Michelle Rodriguez, Fast and Furious, Resident Evil, she's going to be there. Patrick Stewart, he's going to be there.
Danny Trejo, right?
Danny Trejo, yeah. Mm-hmm. Your cousin. So really good lineup of guests. So it's all this weekend, George R. Brown Convention Center.
All right, and also don't forget about the Houston Roller Derby girls. They're going to be having bouts there as well. On every day, I believe they're going to have something to do. And then, of course, also, we mentioned Doomsdays, but they're also going to have a Q&A panel as well. Create a Wrestler Q&A panel. So that's going to be pretty cool.
I want to say this. I go to a lot of cons. Mm-hmm. I went to one last weekend in Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm still tired because I was in Dallas 2 weeks ago for another convention.
Right. You've been to Dallas, 2 times out of a 3-week period?
Yeah. Yeah. And anyway, I want to say Comicpalooza, first of all, it's the only convention that's in Houston. So
there's not any others?
If there is, they're very low key. They're not really like.
I thought there was one called Space City Con or something.
There is.
Like that.
That's a new one that's starting to come up, but it's not on the level as Comicpalooza.
Okay.
And it's Comicpalooza has more things going on it than I've seen at other cons.
Okay.
Other cons that I go to, you have the artists and the writers, you have the celebrity guests. Comicpalooza has that, but also they have wrestling.
Yeah.
Besides the wrestling, they have roller derby. They have
and Quidditch.
Yeah, Quidditch. What? Yeah, they have Quidditch there. Harry Potter fans. So, but they have all this other stuff going on. So it's not just a comic book convention.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't think that it's, take the whole, take the kiddos out there. Take the whole family. It's a good time because Houston doesn't get stuff like this. So we need to support it.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good thing to support.
Oh, and if you, it's probably too late by the time this comes out, but you can go on the website, you can pre-order your tickets online. Mm-hmm. If you put in a promo code Bedrock, you get a little discount on your tickets.
Oh, that's a different one than what Aaron had said.
Really?
So now we've given out 2 promo codes.
I'm sure. I don't know what the difference is in the discounts. I just know.
I don't know. They're probably the same discount, just different codes.
Yeah, different sponsors.
Yeah,
because Bedrock Comics is a sponsor, and I go to Bedrock Comics, so
yes, they know you by name.
Yeah, well,
yes.
Don't mean to brag, but no, but one of the last emails that I got from this is go to Comicpalooza's website, buy the tickets, and you get to put in Bedrock as the code. And you get a discount on your tickets. So
cool beans.
Hopefully, by the time this gets out, like I said, it'll still be valid.
Yeah. And of course, the best reason to go out at Comicpalooza is because we'll be there.
You can even say that with a straight face.
I know. We're going to be walking around there. We're going to be the 2 schmucks with the Houston Wrestling Radio shirts,
passing out business cards.
Yes. All right. So looking forward to that. Hope to see a lot of cool stuff there. Really looking forward to Doomsday and NWA. That's gonna be cool.
And then
stuff.
after this weekend, next week we'll be in San Antonio.
Yes, ROH in San Antonio. That's gonna be some awesome stuff, man.
And I don't want to say anything, but I think we might have some surprises for our listeners coming up here next week. So
yes, we might have a surprise.
Next couple weeks here.
Next week and the week after. Yeah.
Don't want to say anything right now, but
just in regards to some of the ROH, whatever. But we'll see.
We aim to please here at Houston Wrestling Radio.
Some more than others. Yes.
Ooh,
oh my. All right. So that's that. So yeah, keep tuned in. That's not how you say that. Stay tuned in, the next couple of weeks and see what might happen.
And you can do that by going to our Facebook page.
Oh, is that what we're doing now? We're plugging our stuff.
You didn't do it at the start of the show.
Let's plug our stuff. Of course, everybody go like us on Facebook if you haven't done so already. Facebook.com.
Just click the button. Just click the button.
Just click the damn button.
I don't care if you go to our website again. Just click the damn button.
Yeah. It makes Travis feel better.
It does. It really does.
It's HoustonWrestlingRadio.com or Facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio.
Right.
Yeah. What I was trying to give out there, I guess, was our website.
Right,
which was HoustonWrestlingRadio.com.
HoustonWrestlingRadio.com.
All right. There you go.
Yes. You can listen to all our previous episodes.
Well, all of them that are uploaded. Yeah.
All our previous episodes.
And then, of course, check us out on iTunes. And when you go to iTunes, if you would be so kind to leave us a rating and a comment thing, that'd be great. Me love you long time if you do that.
Abel. How desperate are you here? Jeez.
Not desperate enough.
Oh, no.
Okay. And then, you could do the same thing if you go to our YouTube channel and you'll hit subscribe, hit the little thumbs up button, leave us a little comment. That'd be great.
Yes.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
So I think that covers everything there.
Does it? We got the Facebook.
Yeah.
We got the Twitter.
Uh-huh.
You got YouTube.
Uh-huh.
iTunes.
Yeah.
The website.
That's everything.
I think so.
Well, I don't think I said Twitter. Twitter at 8. Shut up! At H Wrestling Radio. There you go.
So, you can follow us. This is what you're trying to say. You can follow us on Twitter
at H Wrestling Radio.
H Wrestling Radio.
Yes.
What was that one more time?
At H Wrestling Radio.
Oh, okay. That's too much. But if you can go to Facebook.com /Houston Wrestling Radio.
Okay.
And like us.
All right, overkill.
That's not overkill.
We just plugged it. You're plugging it again.
If you say it 3 times, then it gets burned in your brain, and you'll just subconsciously go there without even thinking about it. So, Facebook.com /Houston Wrestling Radio.
Oh, you're a dork, Travis. Okay. Let's just give a couple of little shout outs out to all of our friends that support us and whatnot. First off, of course, Our World Order, the guys who do our music. They should be having some music here pretty soon, I think at the end of next month. So you want to go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/NarWorldOrder. Give them a like as well. And check out all the stuff that they do. It seems like they do like at least a concert every week, if not 2. These guys really...
Freaking rock stars, man.
Yeah, they're rock stars, man. They don't rest. They go at it. So I try to keep up and
plug. Like rock star.
I know. I try to keep up and try to plug every one of their shows. But you know what? It's just easier for me to just plug their Facebook and just go to their Facebook and look at what show they happen to be doing this week. So go check them out. They're great dudes. We might get some new music from them at the end of next month. So we might get some new music for our own little intro there. So that'd be cool. But they're great dudes. Not only are they musicians, but they're also wrestling fans. Next up is Stoppage Time. You can check them out on Twitter at HNH Stoppage Time. Also, listen to their podcast on Facebook. They cover the wide world of football, and they cover mostly the Houston Dynamo. So if you're here in Houston and you're a fan of the Dynamo, go check out their show. Of course, can't leave out our good old boy Aaron. Follow him on Twitter at MeanAaronG. Also go to his Facebook page at Awesome AG Designs, where you could check out all of the cool designs that he does. He designs logos and t-shirts and banners and flyers and all kinds of crap. So if you need anything that requires a pen and and coloring and whatever, go to that guy. He knows how to do it and do it good. Also, can't forget our friends, up north, the Wizards podcast. Check them out on, on Twitter at Wizards Podcast. And of course, their website is www.shiningwizards.com.
How about that?
All right. Last one. Wrestling Heels. They have a live show that they do after Raw where they actually, broadcast it live and they take, callers that call into the show. So that's pretty cool. That's more than what we do. So that's awesome. And you can check them out at, WrestlingHeels.com and, also check it out on Facebook at Wrestling Heels. So good. There's some good dudes there too. So check that out. All right. Hoping I'm not forgetting anything. I probably am. Whatever. Oh, Max, of course. Yeah, Max, Wrestling with Subtitles. Check that out on Twitter at Russell Subtitle. And he also plays and is a member of the marketing team for The Wrestling Game, which is at thewrestlinggame.com, where you could go on there, have a little profile, make a wrestler, and compete with other people online with their profiles and wrestlers. And it's, pretty neat stuff, little MMO type thing. It's pretty cool.
Can you create a Layla into AJ and just have her slap her ass the whole time?
Ooh, I hope so. They should add that into the game. Layla slapping AJ's ass. Just like just like that.
And slap it and then grab it.
Yes. All right. That being said, let's get on out of here. Let's end it on a high note. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to tune in again next week. We'll have another episode for you, and we might have a nice little awesome surprise as well. So, check it out. In the meantime, adios, my friends. Keep it classy.